Hello and welcome. We are going to get started in about 5 minutes. Is it not on? Good. So please make sure you get your food and grab a seat, and we will get started here in 5 minutes. Thank you.
Good evening, everybody. Good evening, everybody. We're going to do this one with the response. Good evening, everybody. Good evening. Perfect. Can you all hear me okay? Travis, can you hear me? Cam. There's going to be a number of speakers, so if you do want to turn your chair, if you're done with dinner, they're pretty noisy, so if we do it all at once, it'll probably be better. I think it was a good idea, and not my first rodeo here to know how loud the chairs are. Welcome, everybody. This is a really special night tonight, and I just want to take a moment to pause, to think about how blessed we are to be a part of Louisville Collegiate School. And to be a part of Louisville Collegiate School is all about the people, the relationships, trying to be a great human being, trying to contemplate what it is to be a great human being, trying to contemplate how do we raise children, how do we create the healthiest place in the world to grow up, how do we create a community that supports each other and supports our children through the complexities of our new age, and how to work on that. And so I always love to take this moment and to pause and to think about this unbelievable campus, and to think about that every brick and mortar here has been given to us by people that believe in Louisville Collegiate and that believe in the power of independent education, and more relevantly, the power of education, right? And what can we do together to help raise our children? And how can we make them stronger, more resilient, more ready for this complex world that we're living in? And what I love about tonight, and this is one of my favorite events of the year at Collegiate, but what I love about tonight is it's a celebration of the work that I just described. It's a celebration of all of the amazing teachers that have given 30 or 40 years of their life to teaching at Louisville Collegiate. And then alumni come back and they talk about their relationships with their peers and how much Collegiate meant to them, how much it changed their lives, and how the teachers really made an impact in their lives. And so us teachers aren't getting rich by this, but it is, I wouldn't trade it for anything in the world, of the experience of making a difference in people's lives. And nights like tonight that celebrate this work and celebrate all of the relationships that happened in this work makes this just such a special night. I want to give a quick shout out to Laraka, who was here today, and she's going to be honored in a couple minutes, and just lit it up with all the students, and was just amazing. She's an author and a physician, and so she was talking about her experience here at Collegiate, which was really helpful for the kids to hear and to see how you came in 4th grade and you now are doing these just amazing things, and for the children to see you and that to imagine themselves that you were in same auditorium, right? And then so congratulations, and it was really fun to have you coming through the campus today. Congratulations to all of the other award winners. I do need to take executive privilege here, and while I wasn't asked to speak or say anything about Stephanie Disney, I can't resist. Now, if you know Stephanie, she really loves having attention on her. And so all I'm going to say is that I feel blessed that she came into my life, and she has made this just a different place, and manages all of us and points us in the right direction and makes sure that, Rob, what is the purpose of what you're saying tonight? And like, let's keep it clear here. Let's keep it moving. And so I just really want to say a special thanks to Stephanie. Wonderful, Stephanie. My closing remarks are you are in for an extra special evening. Sit down, fasten your seatbelts, and enjoy. Thank you all very much. Let me introduce Mark Bowling. Let's give him a round of applause.
On behalf of the Alumni Association, I want to welcome everyone to the 2023 Alumni Awards. We're so glad to have you here on campus tonight to celebrate alumni, faculty, and staff. As Rob mentioned, this is such a wonderful event. It's a great way to start off homecoming weekend. So if you didn't know, tomorrow's a full day of athletics out at Collegiate's fields at Champions Trace. So come on out, root on the Amazons and Titans to victory. It is great to see so many familiar faces here tonight, but for those of you that don't know me, my name is Mark Bowling, and I'm a graduate of 2003, and currently my second year as the Alumni Association Board President. I want to take this opportunity to thank all of the Alumni Association board members and everyone that helped make tonight possible. We had a lot of people put in work and time into this, from the selection committee process to review and select the award winners for tonight, and then really all the nitty-gritty event planning for tonight. So I want to give a special shout out to Aaron Fiddler, to Louisa Lewandowski, to Lori Veith, to Catherine Easley. If you guys could all stand up, let's give them a round of applause. Collegiate strives in its mission to inspire academic excellence, extraordinary character, global citizenship. From the youngest students to the most tenured faculty, the school's cornerstones are lived out daily within this community. Compassion, respect, honor, responsibility. And tonight we're here to celebrate several wonderful people who embody the school's mission and live these attributes. They are truly making a difference in the communities that they live in and making the world a better place. And I'm excited to hear them tell their stories tonight. In a moment, Nora Meldrum will come to the podium and recognize this year's honorees for the faculty and staff service recognition. So as we begin the evening, please join me in a round of applause for all of the recipients of awards and recognition tonight. Thank you.
Good evening. Last year, the Alumni Association was delighted to introduce the inaugural recipients of the Faculty and Staff Service Award. This award recognizes faculty and staff who have spent 20 years of service to the collegiate community. Last year, we honored 65 recipients. Tonight, we celebrate 4 more staff and faculty members who have reached this milestone in their collegiate careers. It's a smaller group tonight, but it's a special group. Their work spans all 3 divisions of our school, and their roles, although very different, share a common theme. Whether it's in the kitchen, the makery, on our custodial team, or on the stage, they have created community for 2 generations of collegiate students, creating safe spaces for our kids to gather, feel at home, try new things, whether it's spinach or power saws, and find their voice. And we are stronger as a community because of them. With gratitude for their dedicated service, tonight's honorees are Greg Geis, Rachel Riegelman, Curtis Hensley, and the legendary Sharon Kinnison. Please join me in a round of applause. Please stand. And before I go, I'd ask that we take a second and celebrate last year's honorees, many of whom are still here, along with our new members of this club, because altogether, this group represents, and I had to do a little math here, 1,748 years of dedicated service to the collegiate community. So please rise. Your name, I believe we have a list of their names. Got it? Thank you.
So this year's Collegiate Service Award recipient is Stephanie Disney. So I'd like to welcome Rachel Disney, her daughter, up to introduce her.
Hello, everyone. As I stand here looking around the room, all familiar faces. Some of former teachers, some of coaches, and some of faculty and staff who have known me since diapers. How embarrassing. I mean, just envisioning the bossy, entirely independent 5-year-old Rachel Disney skipping through the halls as if she ran the place is just a tad bit embarrassing. I often wonder when young Rachel Disney found the audacity to act this way. I have now come to the conclusion that my confidence to strut through Collegiate is rooted by a single woman, my mother. Stephanie Disney has been working at this beloved school for over 25 years. I grew up believing Collegiate was truly my second home, as my mom is often the first to arrive at campus and the last to leave. But there's 1 week every other school year that one woman spends more time on this campus than should be legal. Stephanie Disney during Gala Week. For as long as I can remember, this week has been sacred in my family, as everyone is on their own because my mom practically lives on campus. Hungry for dinner? Figure it out. It's Gala Week. Need a ride to practice? You're kidding, right? It's Gala Week. Just a 5-minute conversation with your mother who you haven't seen in days? She can try to fit you in her schedule, but probably not. It's Gala Week. Yes, my mom is often found going above and beyond when it comes to this school, but it's not solely Gala Week when she exceeds her expectations. My mom is known for her constant contributions to this school. It has never even occurred to me to ask why she continually overperforms on projects without being asked. It's just what she does. Mom, thank you from all of us for your constant, meaningful service to this beloved collegiate community. It does not go unnoticed. Thank you for your efforts to improve all parts of the school that I hold dear to my heart, including the athletics and arts program. Thank you for being an exceptional role model for me and all of my friends. And thank you for giving me the opportunity to go to this extraordinary school. When I grow up, I hope to find a community that means so much to me that I work tirelessly to make it a better place, just like you do here at Collegiate. I cannot think of another person who is more deserving of this award. So now, without further ado, I present to you Stephanie Disney with this year's Collegiate Service Award.
She's way taller than me. I hope you can hear me. Thank you, Jim. Oh, thank you, my sweet girl. You amaze me every single day, and I so appreciate that. I am going to read, I apologize, but that will hopefully keep me from crying. This is an incredible honor to receive the Collegiate Service Award. I am grateful to the Alumni Association for recognizing my contributions to this school, which has been my second home for nearly 30 years. From my first role as the communications assistant to my current role as director of advancement, I have witnessed the growth and evolution of this remarkable institution. As a collegiate parent, employee, and volunteer, I have been fortunate enough to give back to a community that has given me and my family so much. It has been an incredible, fulfilling journey, thanks to the support and encouragement of this amazing community. I want to express my love and gratitude to my family for being here tonight. You guys are my rock. I would like to thank all my colleagues who have shown me so much love and support over the years, and especially the past 10 months. I can do this. Special thanks tonight. Elizabeth Brunderman is here. She was my very first boss, and she hired me, right? I love you so much. Oh. And then I can't forget Gretchen Clark. She was my first buddy in the office, and truly was the first one to show 23-year-old Stephanie what Collegiate was all about. I appreciate you both so much. Being a part of the Collegiate family is a true blessing. I look forward to continuing to contribute to this remarkable school. Thank you.
This year's Young Alumni Achievement Award recipient is Stephanie Potter, class of 2003. And I'd like to welcome Emily Ahrensman to introduce Stephanie.
Good evening. I'm Emily Ahrensman, class of 2002, and I'm delighted to be here tonight to celebrate these outstanding alumni, faculty, and staff, and to introduce my friend, Stephanie Potter, for the Young Alumni Achievement Award. Jane Fonda has said that women's friendships are like a renewable source of power. Over 30 plus years, I've been so fortunate to draw energy from friends I've made here at Collegiate, and one of the most superpowered among them is Stephanie Potter. When I first met Stephanie, I almost couldn't believe she was as dewy-eyed as she appeared. But as many in this room can attest, I soon learned that she holds a disarming combination of idealism and drive that make her an extraordinary asset to any community. In high school, Stephanie and I were lucky enough to attend a conference on women's rights at the United Nations. Even as a soft-spoken teenager in this huge global assembly, Stephanie asked probing questions. She recognized early on her passion for equity and how she could harness her own privileged position as a force for positive change. That same summer, we were all bonding over blisters and icy hot during field hockey camp at Sauk Valley, Michigan. Though a far cry from the floor of the United Nations, Stephanie's unflappable humor and love for community made her an extraordinary teammate, one who finds and shares joy in all of her experiences. This same genuine and optimistic drive to improve the world today and for future generations has carried over in every facet of Stephanie's life. From a star student here at Collegiate and the classrooms of Stanford, to tirelessly advocated for improved policies and sustainability initiatives at the U.S. Chamber Foundation, at Nestle USA, and in her current role as Director of Environmental Policy at Pepsi. Stephanie's trailblazing contributions to the field have earned her a place on Sustainability's magazine Top 100 Women in Sustainability list. Outside of these and many other accolades, Stephanie remains a gracious friend and a masterful connector of people. If friendships are indeed a renewable source of power, we in Collegiate's community are exceedingly fortunate to have Stephanie as one of our nicest, greenest, and most abundantly renewable power sources available. Please join me in recognizing Stephanie Potter for the Young Alumni Achievement Award.
Thank you, Emily. You already have tough shoes to follow. And thanks to everyone who sent me really kind words. These awards were announced. It's meant a lot to come back to this community in this way. And going far further back, thanks to my mom and dad who are here with me tonight for making the good decision to send me to Collegiate in the first place from kindergarten to 12th grade. What I've most enjoyed as I've thought about participation in tonight's program, besides knowing that I'd share a stage with Mr. Hertzfeld, who's field trips and deep dives into literature I will never forget, is thinking back to all the other incredible educators who made a mark on me in this formative chapter that's shaped who I am today. Miss Curry and the Oregon Trail Wall, Miss Calderwood for allowing me time with her for extra study, Miss Bumpus and her adherence to form and logic, Miss Martin for her encouragement of creative risk-taking, and so many others. And now that I'm married to someone who spent time in the classroom and who currently supports educators directly, and who's also here with me tonight, I have a better appreciation as an adult for just how much heart goes into this work. And that's true both in the classroom and behind the scenes. And it's so fun to see some of my teammates and classmates who are behind this work now. And I'm so grateful for my mom for doing her part in her capacity as board member during some of the years that I was in school. I love the work that I do, and I'm proud to be back to represent it to this community who knew me when all I dressed in was kilts and jumpers. I was so lucky to find the lane that I wanted to be in early out of the gate from my time at Stanford. I wanted to test the assumption through my career that doing well and doing good didn't have to be in conflict, and that applying private sector principles to social and environmental impact agendas could actually help scale good ideas. So I started doing this work at a regional level in a social venture capital fund in the Bay Area. And then I moved east to pursue it at a global level, where I had the good fortune of spending my first years as a DC resident in Catherine Gatewood's couch. And I have since found my way into corporate America at the second largest food and beverage company in the world, PepsiCo, and prior to that at the first largest food and beverage company in the world, Nestle. And at PepsiCo, we make Lay's potato chips and Quaker Oats and Bubbly and SodaStream. We're also thinking seriously about the emissions that occur at every step of these products' value chain. And our leadership just said last week that getting this right is the most important factor in our company's future success. So we're helping thousands of our potato farmers in the US alone to adopt sustainable farming practices through public dollars and PepsiCo's funding and all kinds of other combination of trips and tactics. We own one of the largest private fleet of trucks in the country, and now that includes some of the first EV trucks to be on the market. And we're thinking about how to move to packageless formats of solutions like Gatorade powder so that consumers can use less packaging when they're buying our products. And my job is both to advise PepsiCo on where the opportunities for impact will be and to help bring the whole industry along in these directions with us. And I'm working on these issues in arguably the most critical decade from the perspective of planetary and human health, and informing decisions today that will shape the world for years to come. And so, there's a lot of work left to do, and we're not in the place we need to be. I do feel that I'm in the right place for this conversation, and I feel that the tools that Collegiate has kind of given me in the first years of life are really helping to make me better in these spaces today. And so I will always be grateful. And I will just say, please stay with me and all of the other alums in other parts of the world and in other sectors, like my sister in Hawaii in the science side, to keep working on these issues. And yes, I'm happy to talk about recycling over dessert. Thank you.
This year's Athletic Hall of Fame inductee is Liz Ratliff Evans. Oh, nice. Class of 2008. So at this time, I'd like to welcome Ken Fleming to introduce Liz.
I tell you what, this is almost like homecoming coming here. It's a distinct honor and privilege to introduce you to Elizabeth Ratcliffe Evans as your 2023 inductee to the Louisville Collegiate Hall of Fame. At Collegiate, Liz was an 11-season athlete in upper school, playing field hockey and basketball each of the 4 seasons, in lacrosse for 3 years. She was a pet club Amazon. She sat on Title IX committee her senior year. She also captained 3 of the 3 sports her senior year and was selected to field hockey, first team All-State, Kentucky lacrosse goalie year, and LCS lacrosse MVP. Pretty strong. Pretty strong. She took this talent and enthusiasm to Rollins College to play D2 lacrosse, but transferred to center when her injuries from playing and transitioned to coach. She took her love of sports to the soccer pitch at Boyle County High School, and upon graduating, she returned to Louisville to this great institution, Collegiate. Having coached with Liz for many years, I can personally attest, Liz is one who knows when to lead and when to let others lead. This is a unique trait that is rarely possessed by individuals. But what puts her above and beyond other people is humility and understanding. It's about relationships. You see, Liz, as a coach, has built a foundation of giving her student athletes life skills that her girls can have a better footing possible as they mature. She has demonstrated not only her athletic ability of being a multi-sport player, team captain of several sports, recipient of many awards, but her character, integrity, and pure grit sets her apart for the peers. As you know, Liz wears her heart on her sleeve in showing compassion, determination, and a love for her girls. And it is known that she has shared a tear or two at the drop of something very sappy. In fact, Liz showed her leadership and compassion when leaving me on the side of the road to fix one of Collegiate's school bus flat tires on our way to play a game in Chattanooga, which we won. I poked fun about this a little bit, but to see her expression as she looked at me in terms of fixing that she really understands the situation. And she knew that she went to go out and lead the girls on and make sure they win the game. So that was very touching, and I knew that just showed her just so much character in Liz. Liz is the epitome, I believe, of what collegiate ladies should strive to be. And we should all be thankful and blessed to have such a wonderful person as your inductee to Athletic Hall of Fame in such an outstanding school. Congratulations, Liz.
I was going to start with something about how my kids always tell me, please don't cry, Coach Liz. But I've already cried, so I'm going to cry again, and I just apologize already. I remember when Alumni Hall was built, as our grade was the first to go all 4 years in the new high school. I remember walking through there and seeing the faces on the Athletic Hall of Fame and thinking, it'd be really cool to be up there one day. But I never thought that would actually happen. While I played sports year-round and being an athlete was what defined me, I was never the standout star of any team. I played many sports and played positions that aren't deemed flashy, such as defense and field hockey and goalie and lacrosse. I was always more of a defensive player, never scoring the game-winning goals. But I did play every minute of every game, was voted things like team captain and all-state, was the goalie on Collegiate's only girls lacrosse state title team, and was the Amazon at pep rallies. So I thought maybe one day. But my college playing career ended early due to injuries. So I thought my chances were pretty slim. Flash forward many years of coaching at my alma mater, I'm beyond honored to be on that wall for my accomplishments, not only as an athlete, but also as a coach. My college injuries are what led me to fall in love with coaching. After I tore my ACL and had more free time, someone at my college told me they needed coaches for the local middle school soccer program. I knew nothing about soccer. Sorry, Mr. Travis. On my first day, a girl asked me to explain what offsides was, and I told her she had to ask somebody else. But from that first day, I was hooked. I went on to coach those girls for the next 3 years. I realized coaching wasn't just about being involved with a sport you already love, but it was about the relationships you build with your players and how you get to watch them grow up in front of you. When I returned to Louisville, I knew I had to coach, and the answer where I was going to coach was pretty easy. As long as they take me. I wanted to return to Collegiate, and thankfully I was offered a position in the field hockey program and then the lacrosse program. I ended up staying with lacrosse for many years, and then 3 years ago, the current senior class talked me into rejoining the field hockey program. Needless to say, this is a very special group, and they know they have me wrapped around their finger. I'd like to say thank you to several people, many I never get a chance to say thank you to, especially publicly. First, I'd like to say, I'm probably gonna cry, so sorry. First, I'd like to say thank you to all my fellow coaches, those I've coached with in the past, including Ken, Kyle Stratton, Mo Benton, and many others, and those I coach with currently, Carrie Lawler, Joey Chatham, Michelle Hannafy, Dom Gibbons. During season, I spend more time with you all than I do with my own husband. You all keep me sane and keep me laughing, and you become really close friends off the field as well. Thank you to my parents, fondly known as the Captain Mel. First of all, thank you for sending me to Collegiate. For those of you who don't know, I was almost a KCD Bearcat. I know. It's where both of my much older brothers had gone, and thankfully my parents wanted to change a pace, so I wound up at Collegiate. Every single game I played in, no matter what sport or where the game was, I knew I would look in the stands and see both my mom and my dad. This is not lost on me on how special this was. I also want to thank you all for continuing to support my teams now and attending games, even though Dad recently told me after 20 years of watching these sports, I still don't know the rules to field hockey or lacrosse. Thank you all for everything you've done for me. I need to also say thank you to my husband, Jonathan. Our relationship was actually defined by a past player of mine. Jonathan and I had been on a handful of dates when he came to one of my games. As I walked off the field with some of the girls, this player saw him and said, "Are you Coach Liz's boyfriend?" To which Jonathan responded, "We haven't really defined that yet." So I have this player to thank for helping us to define our relationship. And that player actually attended our wedding last year, which was pretty cool. But coaches couldn't do what we do if our partners didn't support us. Jonathan, thank you for letting me spend the majority of my free time out of my job at my second job. And thank you for coming to our games, always asking how the girls are doing and having dinner ready for me when I come home at 10 p.m. I also want to thank the collegiate community, my past coaches and teammates, and all the players I've coached over the last 10 years. I spent most days of my life from 1985 to 2008 on this campus. Leaving it was really difficult, and obviously I made my way back here pretty quickly. I made lifelong friends here, several of whom are here tonight. I made incredible memories, and many of those were on the field hockey or lacrosse field, the basketball court, and the bus or car with my teammates on the way to those events. I wanted to give back to current students those memories that I had 15 plus years ago. Over a decade of coaching the Amazons, I've experienced a state championship game, sudden victory, overtime wins, and district finals, and strokes that led us to the school's first field hockey state tournament appearance in 7 years. But the relationships I've built with the now dozens and dozens of young ladies I've had the privilege to coach is what means the most to me. I have players who reach out to me now to get career advice or send me messages telling me that lessons I taught them to be confident in their current lives. This is why I coach. Sorry, I almost made it. All right, I can't thank these young ladies and their families enough for letting me be a small part of their time as an Amazon. To Collegiate, thank you for everything you gave to me as a student and an athlete, and continue to give me as a coach. Thank you for letting me be a part of this community for almost 30 years. And I look forward to hopefully having a little Amazon or Titan here in the future. Thank you so much for this incredible honor. I'm truly humbled to actually be on that wall. Go Amazons.
This year's Faculty and Staff Legacy Award recipient is John Hertzfeld. And at this time, I'd like to welcome his son, Dylan Holland, to introduce John.
Thanks, Kara. It's nice to have a cheering squad. I think it's a rare gift to have an icon for a father. I think most of you guys probably love your father, think that he's pretty great, but it's something else entirely to have that proven to you on a regular basis by people just out of nowhere. I regularly remember growing up, anytime we'd go to the grocery, at least every other time, we'd be in an aisle getting something, Pop-Tarts maybe, and we'd hear a, "Oh my God, Mr. H," out of nowhere. For me, I was just like, okay, this is the guy who drove me here. But for them, it was like meeting a non-problematic Tom Cruise. So I just grew up thinking that this guy was it. And as I got older, I realized just how much he put into being it and how much he gave to other people to be it. There's something incredible about having the love and the faith of John Hertzfeld. And I'm really grateful that it's not just my brother and I who grew up with that, but rather many people here tonight whom he has had that faith in. I get nervous being up here because it feels like I'm opening for Bruce Springsteen. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, the main event, Mr. John Hertzfeld.
I may talk too fast because I read on the internet and I know it's reliable. There's an asteroid that could hit the Earth in a million years or so. So I have anxiety. I want to thank the entire collegiate community for this award. I'm humbled to be included in what I consider to be the Mount Olympus of collegiate faculty. I mean, my God, Helen Longley, come on. And many years ago, I taught English in the People's Republic of China. When one of my students learned that I love to fish, she told me about a wise fool named Zhang, close to my name. He was a character from either Chinese folklore or history. I could never quite figure it out. And Zhang also loved to fish. But he had very peculiar methods. He would drop his line in the water, but without any bait on his hook. A passerby noticed this strange technique and asked Zhang how he expected to catch anything without bait. "You don't understand," said Zhang. "I'm after the fish that really wants to be caught." And that is exactly why Collegiate is such a magical place. The teachers really want to be here. The administration really supports them. The staff really creates and maintains an ideal environment. The parents really endorse the mission of the school. And the students, bless them, I know they're not fish, but they really want to be caught. They really want to learn. So whatever I did not do it alone. One lesson I learned from my years of fishing is that you can't make a fish bite any more than you can make someone fall in love with you. But you keep casting, hoping and praying. As Ovid wrote, "Everywhere chance reigns, just cast your line in the swirling waters." And yes, every cast is an act of prayer. And like prayers, sometimes they don't get answered, or they do, but not in the way you expect. That too is teaching. There were days that my lessons failed, but then there were days when my students surprised me with their deep questions, stunning creativity, and fresh perspectives on the world. So when I wasn't pursuing fish and truth and beauty, I was raising a family, and in between times,
fishing. I fish mostly for sport, releasing any fish I'm lucky enough to catch. Catching, yeah, it's a thrill, okay, but the bigger thrill is letting go. It's the fish you free that make the best stories. When I release my students, whether at the end of the academic year or graduation ceremony, I'm overjoyed at the amazing people they have become and at all the good they are doing and will continue to do in the world. And I'm thankful to see so many of them here tonight. We're doing exactly that. Most of all, I'm thankful that 35 years ago, Collegiate took a chance and gave this excitable eccentric a home and the freedom to cast my line in the swirling waters. And here we are, all of us, grateful to be caught, and so grateful to be in the same school. Thank you.
This year, we actually have two recipients of the Faculty and Staff Legacy Award. So our other recipient is Janice Jones. This time, I'd like to welcome Angela Sarton to introduce Janice.
Hello, my name is Angela Sarton, and I'm a last-minute pinch hitter of sorts for this introduction. You see, Janice's lovely daughter, who's also a first-grade teacher, had to have a root canal. So I've been called up to the plate as a sort of acceptable substitute. Some of you may remember me as the former LCS nurse. Hello, this is Nurse Sarton calling from the health center. This is not an emergency. Janice Jones has enjoyed an impressive 39-year tenure at Collegiate. She worked in the business office operations where she flexed her impeccable organizational skills. She served as secretary in the athletics department, and in recent years prior to her retirement was the face of the school and the first point of contact in the front office. Janice was the colleague, confidant, and rip-roaring good time that I didn't know I needed. In 2011, when she received her front office upgrade, I was relocated as well. As I was wedged between the restroom and the auditorium and Janice's office, we quickly learned, often against our will, who did and did not wash their hands. Don't worry, we never told your hand washing secrets, unless, of course, you're rude to us. Thanks to our adjoining door, I had a front row seat to Janice as she performed her duties with unparalleled grace and warmth. I occasionally would cover the phones, and Janice was always at the ready to assist me with healthcare. We learned so much from one another. Janice gave her best every day without fail to facilitate a true collegiate community. When dealing with emergencies as a nurse, I attempt to give the gift of calm to those who are injured during crisis. But I'm here to tell you, Janice Jones could give a master class in calmness and poise. Her measured, even manner was a gift for those reaching the school switchboard during emergencies or uncertainties. Janice is an invaluable teammate in times of crisis. A colleague once described Janice as a warm hug at the front desk. Another colleague described Janice as a welcoming and understanding presence and a highlight of human nature. A highlight she is, my friends. You see, when Janice smiles, the joy starts right in her heart, and it radiates until it fills an entire room. Janice, your warmth and concern for others is obvious in all that you do. I'm thankful for you. I'm very thankful that I got the chance to work alongside of you, and this community is thankful for you. You are deserving of this accolade and so much more as you celebrate your Legacy Award this evening. Ladies and gentlemen, Janice Jones.
Hello, this is hard for me. Thank you, Angela, for beautiful. I really don't have to say anything else. And I want to thank God first for allowing this to happen. And I thank you to the Alumni Association for this beautiful luncheon and dinner and everything. And then I want to thank my family for being here for me. I thank you so much for coming. So, and then there's not much more I can say other than what Angela had already said. And we did have a lot of good times in that office. As a matter of fact, at one point, they took the chairs out of my office because people kept coming in to just talk. So, and that was, but we got them back in there, didn't we? I want to thank my husband for coming tonight. And I want to thank my daughter for being here. As you know, she's now a first grade teacher here at Collegiate. And yeah. And my children, have sacrificed a lot over the 39 years that I was here, because there were times when, you think school's out, they could stay home, but they couldn't. They had to come in because I had to come in. And Collegiate got to be a family for them too. So Collegiate has been our extended family. And for that, I'm very grateful. And my daughter looked at my speech, which was, like here, there, and everywhere. And she says, "Is that your speech?" And I said, "Yes." So I've been sitting back there going, oh my gosh, maybe I should have put it together a little bit better. But I do, never did I imagine when I accepted a job at Louisville Collegiate School in December of 1982 that it would lead to this. After I graduated from Sullivan Junior College, and it was university then, but now it's, now it's Sullivan University. But I went to work in a small office, and my boss there was Donna Fallbush, and we worked together for about a year. And after that, she said she was leaving to go to a school, Louisville Collegiate School, and I did not know where it was because I'm not from here. And she said, when I get there, she said, if they have an opening, I will call you. And that she did. And I came and I interviewed with Chip McCalkin, and I know most of you remember him. And we interviewed and they accepted me here. And I'm very grateful that they gave me a chance to show them what I could do. I started working in the business office before we even had computers. And yeah, it was a long time ago. and it was a good fit for me. And actually, when she left Collegiate, she was the business manager. She said, I want you to come where I am now. And I thought, no, I'm going to stay at Collegiate. It was a nice place to work. I enjoyed it. Like I said, it was family. And one of my mentors was Linda Bilderback, who's sitting in the back right now. Linda. And I did. It was just a good fit, so I stayed. And I see Ann Fleming. I went to work in after I worked in the business office, I went to work in athletics, and Ann helped me a lot in athletics, and thank you, Ann. So I was there for a while. I see the Brundermans are here. Hi. And I actually played on a softball team with them. And thank you, Pat, because Pat always said, if you can't get to it, I'll get there. I said, all right, thank you. So, and then this place was a safe place. I enjoyed the security and just had a chance to fulfill all of my career dreams here at Collegiate. And I don't want to say too much more. I just am very happy to accept this award. Thank you very much.
This year's Distinguished Alumni Award recipient is Rajni Laraka. And at this time, I'd like to welcome for an encore performance, John Hertzfeld for an introduction.
Not him again. When she was a senior in my creative writing class at Collegiate, Rajni Laraka told me that she wanted to be a doctor and a writer, but feared she might have to sacrifice one of those goals to fulfill the other. And as it turns out, she didn't have to choose. She's very accomplished in both fields. Rajni graduated from Harvard College and Harvard Medical School and has been a primary care internal medicine physician at Massachusetts General Hospital for more than 20 years. But since 2019, she has been an amazingly prolific author of children's books. In 2021 alone, she published 6 books. Yeah. What are you doing with your life, huh? 4 of those were picture books, 2 were middle grade novels, and one of the novels, Red, White, and Blue, earned a Newbery Honor and the Walter Dean Myers Award and about 15 others, I lost count. Her first novel, Midsummer's Mayhem, combined Shakespeare's fairy realm with competitive baking. Has recipes too. She revisited Shakespeare with Much Ado About Baseball, which was a delightful mashup of the Bard, baseball, math, and magic. Her works draw on her scientific knowledge and her South Asian heritage. For young readers, she has explained DNA, vaccines, and the human heart. That's a complicated one. She also explores the human heart through the relationships of friends and families in both her picture and middle grade books. Rajni lives in Massachusetts with her husband and 2 children, where she spends her time writing and practicing medicine. Yeah, did you forget she's a doctor too? Yeah, in her spare time, she saves lives. I am honored to introduce to you Dr. Rajni Laraka, this year's recipient of the Distinguished Alumni Award.
Wow. Thank you so much, Mr. Hertzfeld. I don't think I could ever call him John. That's just too much. I only realized today that this is our 35th high school reunion, and he's been at the school. He was started at the school 35 years ago. So that means his first year here was my last year here. And that doesn't compute because he really had a huge impact on me and my life. So I want to thank the entire collegiate community, especially the Alumni Association, and especially Catherine Easley. Oh my goodness, you made everything so easy and so delightful today, and I really am forever grateful. Thank you so much. I'd also like to thank my wonderful family, my husband Lou and my kids Joe and Mira, who traveled, drove through traffic, faced floods in New York to get here today. My parents wish they could be here. They couldn't because of health reasons, but they send their love to everyone. I think a lot of people here remember them. So now I'm going to tell you a story. So in most schools, if you started in 4th grade and you went all the way through to 12th grade, that would be a long time, but not here, clearly. So I started in 4th grade. My parents decided they wanted to send me here, and I wasn't really sure because I had a lot of friends that I was leaving, and I didn't know anybody. I showed up that first day of 4th grade in Mrs. Miller's class, and I didn't know a soul, and I felt really awkward and weird, and I didn't know what to do. But it turns out that we had something in common. We were all asked to read Madeline L'Engle's A Wrinkle in Time during summer reading. So we all showed up on day one knowing that story. We had something in common, and we had a discussion about that book. And that very day, we started reading the sequel to that book, A Wind in the Door. And so to me, a story connected me to fellow students on the very first day. So over the years, I became friends with my wonderful classmates and was taught by incredible faculty. We know, wow, there's so much love in this school, right? And they fostered my interest in every subject, right? In a world in which we are told we have to focus, we have to figure out what it is we want to do, we have to be pointy tools. My teachers said, no, if you love everything, that's fine. So I loved all my subjects. And then they also encouraged us to explore all kinds of extracurricular subjects, right? So I was a singer, I was an actor, I was a newspaper reporter, I did mock trial math team, and even athletics, although not very well. But to me, stories were the common thread of how I connected to other people. Of course, the ones that I read in class, but also the ones that I read on my own, including my all-time favorite book, The Westing Game, which I will always, always talk about, and a little book called Ouch, All About Cuts and Other Hurts, which is the thing that prompted me to be interested in medicine. So fast forward to senior year of high school when I was in Mr. Hertzfeld's class, his creative writing class, and I remember it a little bit differently. I remember saying to Mr. Hertzfeld, you know, I really love writing, but I know this is not going to be my career. I really hope I get to go to medical school. I really want to be a doctor. And here are the words that he said to me that changed everything. He said, who says you have to choose? And the next day, like this is the teacher he was, the next day he brought in all these books that were written by authors who happened to be doctors. And I was like, okay, I guess this is a thing you can do. And so that planted a seed in my head that maybe someday I could come back to writing. So, you know, I went off after high school, I went to college, I studied government randomly. I was also pre-med because I had a teacher, Ms. Tillett here, who was just amazing, and I had to study government. I met my husband there. Then I went to medical school, and there was nothing else that could fit in my brain. I was in medical school, and I was like, there's literally nothing else I can do. And then after medical school, I trained at Mass General Hospital Internal Medicine. We had 2 beautiful children. I mean, wow. And it was decades later that that seed that was planted when I was a senior in high school finally sprouted, because they were old enough, they went to school. I'd been practicing medicine for a while, and I felt comfortable-ish. And I was like, maybe I can go back to being creative. And I started taking classes online and then in person, and then I met other friends. And I have to tell you, when I joined the medical community, I thought, wow, these are my people. They are nerdy in the exact same way that I am. And they have a mission. They want to help people. They want to take care of people. But then I met writers, and I was like, uh-oh, these are also my people. How is this possible? So I met writers, and I kept writing. And I will shorten this phase of the years of training of writing, whereas there's a difference between wanting to just write for yourself and then wanting to get published. There's a whole other level of weirdness there. And after many years of trying, many years of revising, and many rejections, I finally, was able to get an agent and get some books published. And as of today, I have 15 books out in the world, which is crazy. Okay, so in 2019, I started working on a novel in verse that came to me. The idea came to me as a metaphor, and the metaphor was of blood and all that that means in terms of biology, but also family and community. And I decided I needed to write it in poetry, even though I'd never written a novel in poetry before, but I just tried, because that is what Collegiate taught me. It's like, you don't have to be an expert. How can we be an expert when we're first starting? You just have to try. So Red, White, and Whole is set in 1983, and it is about a 13-year-old girl. I was 13 in 1983. It's about a 13-year-old girl named Reha, who is torn between the worlds of her Indian American parents and her friends at school. And like any normal teenager, she wants to wear cool clothes, listen to awesome music, go to a middle school dance. But her parents, and especially her mom, think she has better things to do with her time. So she is struggling with this when she finds out that her mom's been diagnosed with a kind of blood cancer called leukemia, and her whole world is turned upside down. And she feels that if she could just be the perfect daughter, the daughter that her parents want her to be, that she can somehow save her mother's life. So this is a work of fiction, but it is very much based on the emotions that I have had when I was growing up. That feeling of feeling caught between different worlds, not knowing where you belong or if you belong anywhere, whether the real version of you is the American weekday version or the Indian weekend version, and contending with my own mother's serious injury and hospitalization when I was a teen. It also includes my appreciation for medical science, for 80s music, and Star Wars. Now, if you had told me when I was 13 years old that I would write this book, that I would pour so much of my heart into something that like literally anybody could read, I would have said you were crazy, but I did it somehow. And we sold this book in February 2020. And then we all know what happened next, right? The whole world, just changed overnight. And as a doctor, it was really difficult to kind of see from that perspective what was happening in communities. But we came through it. And I'm just so grateful that that we're here now. And thanks to science and thanks to community and thanks to good people who did the right thing, that we're here now and we're through it. So I'm just gonna say a few more things. On a Sunday night in January 2022, I learned that Red, White, and Hold had won a Newbery Honor. And I couldn't believe it because my favorite books were A Wrinkle in Time and The West End Game, both of which won the Newbery Medal. I couldn't believe that my book was among them. It kind of freaked me out. And when we got the phone call, I turned to my husband and I said, this book's not gonna go out of print. So that just means that kids years from now are still gonna be able to read it. It was just hard to believe. So I just want to end by thanking you all once again for this incredible honor. Wow, it's amazing just to share a stage with all of these people. It's incredible. I spent the whole morning here at Collegiate talking to the pre-K through fifth graders about books. And I have to tell you, some things have changed about Collegiate. There's some shiny new buildings. It's bigger, it's more diverse, but some things have not changed. This is a place of magic, where people love learning and people love each other. So it is extraordinary and wonderful to be back here talking about stories, because at their heart, both of my careers are about connection and people. And to me, stories are the thing that connect us all. We are all telling stories about ourselves all the time. And wow, is it wonderful to be in a community where all of us are working together to help children tell their stories, because the world needs to hear them. Thank you again so much.
Thank you, everybody, so much. Thank you to all our award winners. Those were amazing stories you shared. Rajani was amazing this morning with the kids. I have two very small kids who actually listened. So well done. But no, thank you so much for everyone coming tonight. I do want to run the homecoming schedule by you. Tomorrow is going to be a fun day. There's athletics, there's rock band. The new athletic complex isn't opening quite yet, thanks to Louisville Water Company, but it will be soon. You can still come and maybe take a sneak peek. I don't know. Maybe Stephanie will let you in. But I hope you can join us out at our new turf field. Thank you. Got my assistant over here who made the unfortunate decision to sit by me. Special thanks so much. A lot of our Alumni Association board helped so much with tonight planning, and Carrie Lawler was also a huge aspect of that. Thank you for reminding me. No, and Aaron Fiddler was amazing leading this. Mark Bowling has done such a great job. Louisa, Kim, Carrie, everyone. Lori Veith did the beautiful flowers on your tables. Ellen Timmons did the beautiful flowers up here. So thank you. All right, one more, Lee. And thank you to our community partners, corporate sponsors. They make a lot of this possible. But again, I'm so grateful to see all of you. Thank you for coming. What? Oh, yes, Sage. Thank you, Troy, and all of your team back there, Layla, everyone. We really appreciate it. Thank you. But yeah, so please enjoy the evening. It was so great to see everybody, and I hope you come again next year and bring all of your friends. Thank you. Oh, I'm sorry. One last thing. On your table, there's a lot of QR codes. If you're an alumni, please update your contact information. I know you've made it here, but we might not have all of it. And then there's some other ones on there that I can't think of right now, but please scan all those codes. Thanks.